In this video, I am going to talk about RGB and CMYK channels in Photoshop, and I want you to understand some basic rules of how these channels work, and later we can create some creative works with these channels. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about RGB and CMYK channel. RGB is the channel that stands for red, green, and blue colors, and that's the way or method the human eye perceives colors. And the combination of all these channels together creates the white color, and the absence of the color creates the black color. So then in this case, for example, if you work with RGB mode in Photoshop, if you use the black brush, it removes colors from the channels. And in the CMYK color, everything works in opposite way. So CMYK is the mode that it is used for printing, and the combination of all colors, which is cyan, magenta, and yellow, the combination of them creates black color, and the absence of them creates the white color. It means in this mode, if you use white color or white brush, you can remove colors. So just keep in your mind that RGB color and CMYK color, like all these rules are opposite of each other. So we call RGB our primarily colors or color mode, and CMYK as the secondary. So one other thing that you need to know about this rule, when RGB colors mix together in pairs, they create CMYK color. So what it means, if we combine, for example, green and blue together, it makes cyan. If we create red and blue, creates magenta, and green and red creates yellow. Also, another rule that you need to know, that the secondary colors, which is CMYK, are complementary colors to the remaining primary colors or RGB. So what it means, for example, here in the first image, the primary is green and blue, that makes cyan. So here we don't have the red color. Then if we have the combination of these two, which is cyan, the complementary color of the cyan is the absent color in RGB mode. So the color is red. That's the same rule for other colors. So these are the basic rules that you need to know in CMYK and RGB. You don't need to memorize everything, but the importance of understanding these basic aspects of the color modes, it will help you when you create a file, and if you have any specific color that you want to achieve to that one, then understanding this will help you to create that specific color. What I highly recommend you, when you start working with channels, before start to have a complex works, just practice a little bit with understanding how these colors are complementary to each other, and like how these color modes are working. First of all, I want you to take a look at the color mode in Photoshop and see how you can have access to them or how you can switch between them. So if you click on the image, on the menu tab, and if you click on the mode, you will see different color modes here. Don't worry about other color modes, just at this point we work with RGB and CMYK. If you take a look here, I have the CMYK color mode selected, which is not the default color mode in Photoshop. If you create a new file and if you don't change it yourself, the default is RGB. So Then if you have a file and you want to know what color mode is, just click on the image mode, and the one that is checked is the current color mode that you have. In order to select, like for example, RGB, you click on the RGB, and now if you go to image mode, you will see the RGB is checked. It means the color mode right now is RGB. So also, in order to have access to the layers in the channel, you need to work in the channel panel, which is by default next to the layer panel in the Photoshop. But if you don't have access to it, you can go to the window and you need to make sure that channels is checked. Okay. In this case, you can have access to the channel panel or tab. And as you can see here, there are 4 layers. The first one, it says RGB. It means this is the composite layer of all different colors or different color channels. And then you have every single one separated. And also you can see all layers are selected by default. So you can click on like part of the, if you want to choose one of them, you can just like click on that specific um, channel and it only select that one. But you can see the visibility of all layers is off. So you can click on the RGB composite layer and turn everything on. So this is really important thing that you should know at this point, that if you want to save any work, all layers should be visible in order to save your file. You can have some of them not visible. And please pay attention to the difference between selecting layers and the visibility. So the visibility, the eye bulb, if you click on like the composite, everything is visible, and now you can just like select every single layer, but it has nothing to do with the visibility. So if I go and like select everything, and for example right now click on the green, again you can see the image is black and white right now because the visibility of other layers are off. So every time that you select one single layer, it turns off the visibility of other layers in Photoshop automatically. So don't be confused. You can just like turn it on again. In the other video, I'm going to show you how to prepare your file before you start working with channels.